What's up, guys? Another trade recap today on a trade I took on NQ. How I made $393 in basically 3 minutes. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Won't waste your time here. So, yeah, what I wanted to see, as you can see, if you're looking for an overall day-to-day basis, this is kind of a wrong bias, but I had a pretty bearish bias on the day because of the fact that we took um, this this pre key level high on NQ, and this I mean that was New York session previous high of the New York session. So I had this relatively bearish bias for this reason, but how I came out to taking this trade. So first, that was a pretty weird, in my opinion, weird open. We had a lot of confluences going in and out. So the first thing I marked out was this 15-minute gap here on ES. So ES was really more bearish, more bearish than NQ. I ended up taking the trade on NQ though, because the RR was better, and I had a target in opposite of ES. I didn't have any target because this London low, sorry, it was already taken. So we were pretty bearish on the open directly on ES, and we were super bullish on NQ on the open. So on the open, the two indexes were really uncorrelated. So I really wanted to first have a clear vision of where they both wanted to go. And my first really, I mean, not the first one, the first idea I have of maybe a bearish trade, so a short was this. So we went higher on Q, creating at first we created an S&T. Oh, oops. So we first created an S&T, a bearish S&T on ES by respecting this 15-minute gap and staying below this high. On NQ we went higher, and we not only we created an S&T by going above this high, but we also took previous day high. So that was a pretty strong draw that we took on NQ. Previous day high are normally really interesting draw, really interesting key level you want to trade towards it, not forward. So that was my first confluence, this bearish S&T, and then we had this clear kind of piss off that we have those like all this those buddy candle that kind of ruin. We don't have like we don't have any inversion or whatever, but this is a clear candle. We have a beautiful bearish candle that tells us that we might want to go lower. But I really wanted first to wait for this 5-minute gap. I know there's a lot of other drawing here. This is about the other trade that this is not a trade I took. Another trade that would have been good. But I only took one trade today, and that was a short on NQ. So this is the 5-minute gap I was really looking for. So because we took this London low on ES. So I was like, maybe if we're bullish, we we're creating an S&T, a bullish S&T on NQ. Yes, staking this London low, and that's pretty much what happened. Look, the price just ripped after it, but not directly. So I was like, if we're respecting this gap, I might willing to take longs of this, but on NQ because NQ is more bullish. So I really wanted to see this gap. What happened? We respected it twice, but never obtained any clear 1 minute confluence to the upside to take a trade, to take a bullish trade off of this respect of the gap. So I really wanted to wait for this. This gap finally got inversed, so that's why I wanted, because I wanted a confirmation that we're not just respecting this on ES and just willing to go higher. I wanted to really have the correlation of those two indexes that we're willing to go lower. So um this was it on ES, and at the same time we had a, like I said, a beautiful bearish candle creating a 5 minute for value gap right here that we totally respected on this candle. So that's where I was kind of looking for 5 minute 1 minute entry. Sorry, blah blah blah. So yeah, respecting this 1 minute gap, that was a 5 minute, and I was looking for short. So because of this, oops, I need to go on a 5 minute. Because of this inversion. So I was looking for short after this inversion. We already had all of those confluences on NQ. I just needed to see this 5 minute inversion. So then after this 5 minute, again, I got it. Bro, I'm messing you guys up here. After this 5 minute inversion, technically I needed a 5 minute retracement. As you can see, sorry, incoming. Okay. As you can see, we took this target, which was my TP, before this 5 minute retracement. But we did have a little retracement, and then this candle came. When I saw this candle, I was like, okay, this 5 minute is a breakaway gap. If you guys don't know what a breakaway gap is, it's basically a gap that we don't need, that doesn't need to be retest. So when I saw that this was a breakaway gap with this clear candle to the downside, and this clear candle to the downside on NQ was a small, I'll give it to you, but that was an inversion. Like I'll take this out just so you guys can see, but this is a little inversion right there. So after this candle, we had a little bit inversion. And that's where I was ready to enter. I've been kind of lucky because I feel like there's a wick here, so the fill was like more here than here, but my fill was like around here. I put my stop on the second low and the second high, and put my TP on the London low, and that hit perfectly after 3 minutes. So that's pretty much the trade I took. Uh, I know a lot of guys of that maybe trade that are maybe top tip traders probably made a lot of money today because we just it London low, we just ripped all the way through after pretty crazy. But I can explain the other trade that I saw was a good trade too. I just went off chart and didn't saw it, so I don't like feel bad for it. But that was pretty much it. After we hit again this low on ES, that's why taking the trade off of this week wasn't good. We retested again, and then we had a break of structure right here. Inversion of this gap, clear candle. I mean, this is we can call this a break of structure, even though like it is more look like a sweep than any other thing. But whatever, we retraced this gap pretty poorly, I have to admit. And then after that, we had an inversion of this 1 minute gap right here. Target. You could have two targets. So this 4 hour high and this previous day high. Pretty like not a big one. This is a solid ratio. Straight would have been good too to take. I only took one. I'm glad for it. So I really de-risked on this trade. Um, I risked like 3 times less than I normally do, because we had a lot of volume, a lot of volatility. I know you're supposed to like this, but I was feeling like, bro, with all those wick, like this crazy price action, what happened right after, right here, like I don't know what the fuck that is. I was like, okay, I'll only risk like I really didn't risk a lot, but yeah, end up working. So glad of this trade. Hope it can work you guys, help you guys to with your work. And don't hesitate to like, subscribe, comment. This is really appreciated. Push me forward to do more of these video and yeah, push me into my goals. So that was useful, and I'll see you guys in another trade recap.